So we'll just let both your videos play here through once so you can see what we're working with. Start back over again. And our front view. And then if we try to get both of these synced up, be somewhere around here. All right, so if we just start with our side view here, we can see that we got a nice, good high leg lift, hips out in front, get the body going out in front aggressively. But if we're going to watch this back knee and how quickly it folds in, and also how quickly our front leg wants to open. It's closed here, it's neutral here, and it's already starting to open up here. And now it's going to open up continuously for a long time. Before it hits the ground. Okay. When we get to foot strike, we have fantastic lower half rotation. We take that over here. When we get to foot strike, we have fantastic lower half rotation, but we don't have a whole lot of power coming from the lower half. The lower half rotates well, but it's not driving well. And what I mean by it's not driving well is it's not driving with a lot of power because this back knee is just kind of constantly falling in, falling in, falling in, falling in, falling in, falling in, falling in. We never really drive off the mound. We never drive away from the mound. We're just kind of constantly falling away from the rubber. We're just kind of constantly falling away from the rubber, and then we rotate. And then we rotate. So we can imagine if the two types of forces that we get to create energy with is our rotational force, which you are doing here by rotating our lower body, and also linear force, or force that goes to the target. One of those forces can help increase the other force, and it's the linear force. Us driving to the target can help us increase this rotation. If we drive away from the rubber, it will help us then with even more rotational power, which will then help our upper half have more rotational power sent up to it to use with its rotation, helping create even more power. Another thing that we can see at front foot strike is how this front shoulder starts to want to roll, peel, or finish outwards. Right as we get into that front foot strike. It wants to start to peel outwards just a little bit at front foot strike. So our front shoulder is slightly opened here. This elbow is pretty far behind us, but the glove is still in line. The glove is still in line. The glove hasn't peeled out. We got very, very close. We towed the line and we stayed right on it. So the front glove side is doing a pretty good job. Pretty darn good job of doing exactly what we want it to do. Good swivel right there. But if we could think about keeping that shoulder going to the target, if we think about keeping this shoulder going to the target in this position just a little bit longer before it starts to roll out. Before it starts to roll out, that'll help keep this shoulder closed a little better, which will help keep this throwing arm back here more versus it starting to rotate forward a little bit by the time the foot hits the ground. Meaning if we look at side view, and who should we use for you? Okay. From top of leg lift, your foot's a little bit more extended out towards third compared to Pedro's, who's just more dangling underneath the knee. But what I want you to just watch is how this knee is going to stay back versus your knee is going in or to the target. See those differences there? This knee is stayed back. We don't want it to go down that pitching rubber. We don't want it, or down the pitching mound. We want it to stay stacked above the pitching rubber as best and as long as we can. Okay. Another thing I want you to look at is where his glove position is at in comparison to how far his front foot is extended away from the rubber versus like if your foot was about the same equal distance proportionally, we can see back knee difference. We can see that his front foot is just now neutral. It's been closed, like we talked about. It's closed here. Yours is closed here as well. But then now yours is slightly still closed, definitely still closed. Now yours is already opened, still closed. Okay. And now what can we also see is still closed? Glove position. Whereas your glove been going this whole time. It's been going straight in front of us. It's been going from over here in very much the same position that Pedro's glove is right now with how far his delivery has proceeded. It's very much what your glove position is right now. But you're getting it there. He's getting it there. You're getting it there. But now watch as he holds it. It stays out over here in front of him. towards third base with that bend in that elbow still. Versus, boom, straight arm already. And now straight arm is going to send energy out now. And that's what then causes that shoulder to slightly be open at front foot strike versus boom at front foot strike. So glove, both in great spots. Arm in similar angles, but this arm is much more back. How is it able to be back more? Because this front shoulder of yours, which is rotated this way, rotated towards first, then brings the throwing arm in the same direction forward. Pedro's shoulder still is squared up. He's looking over his shoulder still. You're looking over nothing. So we're just missing out on some power opportunities because of this back knee wanting to go down, in, versus wanting to stay back, to then be able to drive rotation versus only rotate, which then also causes upper body to be slightly open at this point in time. We're close. A lot of things are moving and flowing well. It's just we got to keep that knee back longer so we can drive our body out while we rotate, which will help speed up the lower half rotation, which will then hopefully help keep the front shoulder from wanting to open up as much. But in order to really keep that front shoulder from opening up as much, we got to think about not allowing the glove to get straightened out and then just flung out. Straightened out and then flung out. To not allow it to get straightened out and then just flung out. And you just try to keep a little bend in that elbow longer and hold it and let this elbow come up this way as opposed to going back and then up to here. So just some mirror work to help see the pattern we're going to work on, but want to work through, and then some nice easy dry drills to help you feel it, and then some throw-in drills to get the timing together. But this should be something that is very easily felt the difference between when we do it good and when we don't do it good. So that will make the adjustment hopefully a quicker process for you.